Yo, you already know what it is. We international, baby. All over the world, they listening to us right now. We're going to get right into it. What, I got to shoot a nigga on camera or come on here with 5-6 chains that I bought off Amazon or have a stack full of money? It's going to make y'all say, damn, let me fuck with cuz. We come out every time we do it and give you the best. The best content, the best stories, the best analysis, perspective. Drama free. Drama free. Make me say, damn, what I gotta start a beef with a nigga in my city for a nigga to say, tune in. I'm watching Shannon, what's it called? Nightcap. Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Hell of a show. We're gonna get right into it.
Until 1980, summer of 83, I slept in the bed with my grandmother.
This Shannon talking about his grandmother, y'all.
Every night. Playing football, Ocho, I scored 2-3 touchdowns. I dropped 30. I go home because my grandmother alone. It was my grandmother and my nephew. So that closeness, and that's what's tough. And I've often asked myself, and I pray, God, will I ever love a woman like I love that woman? Never. That's unconditional. That's because Ocho, that's the thing. I say, God, I just if it's not to that degree, let me love somebody half as much as I love Mary Porter. That's it. I say, God, if you give me that, I'm good.
All right, so you hear Shannon talking. I'm gonna put the clip up. If I didn't already, you know how this is. We're gonna do some editing. And Shannon say that from the moment he moved with his grandmother at 2 years old, up until, I think he went away to college. He was staying, small house. He was staying in the same room as his grandmother, same bed as his grandmother. Up through high school, all of that. When he was a superstar football player, when he had all the prospects coming to him, but they still was dirt broke, poor. Didn't have much of nothing. And his grandmother, who took them boys in, stepped up, gave them everything she had. Shannon Sharp, Sterling Sharp, 2 Hall of Fame NFL players, 2 of the greatest that ever did it, athletic-wise, especially when you talk about black athletes. From this little lady. And he wonders, man, if he will ever find somebody, Shannon gotta be damn near 60, right? And I know some people think, well, he old or this, that. They think that life. I was watching the movie and the dude said, I was watching the show, shout out to the Pit, and my man from Law and Order, SVU, was on there. The old captain. And he said, Kragan, and he said, the thing is, when you older, you know what it's like to be young, but the young don't know what it's like to be old. And so we all got this shit in our head like, oh, well, by the time I get 30, I'm gonna have this, and this. I'm gonna be married with 3 kids. And then you get to 30, and you're looking around and shit ain't how you thought it was gonna be. And newsflash, when you get to 40, it's the same shit. That's why they used to have this term midlife crisis, because you get to about 40 years old and you can't believe you 40 years old. Maybe you thought you had forever. Maybe you thought youth was on your side. It ain't on nobody's side. It leaves all of us. And so when you're young, you think you got all the answers. When you old, you realize you don't know shit. And that's just the reality of things. First, let me say kudos to these men for being vulnerable enough to come on this platform. Hundreds of thousands of people watching. Shed tears, cry, be vulnerable. Black men should be able to cry if they feel the need to. Black men should be able to, express themselves if they need to. Black men should not have these stigmas where they have to live up to a certain facade or a certain perception to make y'all feel comfortable, to make y'all feel like this is what he's supposed to do. And so hopefully moving forward, we start to see more of this. I'm not saying y'all niggas need to be like Tyrese. What more do you want from me? Crying and shit every 5 seconds. We don't want y'all to be like that. Sensitive, soft ass niggas. But there's nothing wrong with being in tune with your emotions. Emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent, right? And so these guys was on here, they was talking, and it got me to thinking about so much, right? All of these guys was talking about these people that raised them and these memories they got and how, you know, the older you get, the more people you losing. And I was on a phone call the other day and they was asking me, like, you know, Women's History Month, shout out to all my women. All the women, not my women, I ain't got no women. And they was talking about, you know, identifying women who helped inspire you or mold you or raise you. And I had to talk about my abuela, my grandmother, Eloise, my father's mother. And I had to talk about my godmother, Nina. I think when she passed, her name was Nina Johnson. And shout out to Ray, her husband. And just the coolest motherfucker on the other side of the pillow. I mean, I'm talking about wear mid coat in the summertime and still be breezy, you know what I mean? Just super fly. And my grandmother was kind of the opposite. I mean, she could have that shit throw on, but she was like a homebody. Like, she ain't really want all the pomp and circumstance. She ain't really want to be front row at the gala. I remember she had, I'm gonna make it quick. I remember she had a NAACP meeting. You know, my grandmother used to march with Martin and them niggas. You know what I mean? Real super legit stepper, nigga, front line. And you know, I grew up around some strong women. For better or for worse, we had some rough moments. But nevertheless, right? And good women. And my grandmother had to do this NAACP thing. And she called me, she said, ride with me. Excuse me, y'all. And I went with her. And it was a room full of old motherfuckers, right? And they just talking about the youth, this. And y'all think this some new shit. Back then, they was talking about the youth, the youth, the youth. My grandmother get up there to speak. I still don't really know what we got going on here. And she introduced me. I want y'all to hear from somebody who y'all talking about. Y'all talking about the youth. I want y'all to hear from one of them. And she called me up there. And I didn't know what to say. She said, just tell them how it is. And I remember her face. I don't have a lot of memories of her because she passed away in 2008, 18 years ago. And it's been a long 18 years. And this was my best friend, my heart, my life. And, but I remember this day. I remember her face when she watched me up there cook and talk. And the more I talked, the more I had something to say. And she saw it in me all along. I remember she gave me this thing that said dream. And I cherished that. I still do. I thought about my last time seeing her. And it was tough. She had cancer and it had taken away most of her faculties. She had went from maybe 140, 150 to 60 pounds, soaking wet, bones, skin hanging off of it. Her face that was so full of love, and her skin that was so smooth, her hair that was so soft. She was a shell of herself. And at this point, she told me on Christmas she was dying and there was no way we could fix it. At the time, me and my father didn't have no relationship. He called me like, yo, you know, your grandmother want to holler at you. I'm like, about what? Because whole time, I'm telling you, I'm talking to her way more than I'm talking to him or anybody else. Anybody else. I don't even know if he had my number, how you got my number. You know what I mean? This is how bad it was. I knew it was bad when he called me. So I went to go see her on Christmas Eve, like I did for years, my whole life, up until that point. Called me in his room. She told me she was passed or she was dying. She wasn't gonna make it. Strongest person I know. But here I go. Last day, she done lost all this weight. They saying she brain dead. She don't know what's going on. Don't even worry yourself. They gave me some time with her. I talked to her and I gave her every dream I got. Oh my, when Grammys, Oscars, I'm gonna be this big time, the greatest they ever seen. They can't fuck with me. They can't stop me. I'm a dream like you taught me. And I poured my heart out to her. Oh, I'm gonna have all these kids. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I told her, I can't see you like this no more, baby. It's gonna be it. I can't keep coming to see you like this. The last time we had talked that she could speak, she was like on the couch and she said to me, you know, don't let them put me in a box. And we had agreed that whenever it got tough, I would close my eyes and I would imagine we was dancing on the beach, man. It's like sitting on the dock of the bay, or, you know, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Al Green. Song for You, Donny Hathaway. And it was just hard to see her like that. And I get up to leave after I done gave her all of this shit, right? She grabbed my hand, my wrist, right here. And her body starts shaking and convulsing. They telling me she brain dead, mind you, right? So how does she's shaking, and a tear, if I'm lying, I'm dying, come falling down. And she died that night, man. She left that night. I felt it in my heart when it happened. I was with my man. We was on a mission trying to get some pussy for me because I was feeling so sad. He called this girl up. Shout out to the girl. He know who he is. Shout out to him. And I was on the couch because I was so drunk. I ain't have it in me to try to do nothing with nobody. He went in the room with it. He got something, I think. I don't know. He a married man with kids now. And I remember waking up feeling like a fire was lit in my chest. And the next morning, I woke up on my floor in my apartment at Oakcrest Towers with 1,000 missed calls. I knew what time it was. The most important person, the person I loved the most, closest person to me was gone. Never judged me, at least not openly. And then I think about my godmother, who, while everybody was loving my brother, while everybody was praising my brother, rest his soul, my godmother would come and give me the FUBU sweater, the Nike sweater, you know, the fly shit. I never got the fly shit. My brother would get like Segas and Nintendos and this and that. And I would get like socks and thermals and shit like that. Because I don't think nobody really knew what to do with me. I remember one year I got like a painting set. I was always like a different guy. And I don't think nobody really knew what to make of that or how to pour into that. And Donnell, my brother, was the first. He was the firstborn. He was the athlete. It was easy to support that. They had already been supporting it before I got there. I think we 3.5 years apart. And my last time seeing Nina, my godmother, I couldn't even tell you. I remember being in my condo and I remember telling this dear friend of mine who I was involved with. I just kept saying, I need to go see my godmother. I need to go see my godmother. I need to go see my godmother. And after losing Dolores, my grandmother, it wasn't a thing for me to like go see people I cared about because I would just automatically think about losing them. And I just wanted to go see my godmother. I put it in a song. The song went did really well, like 10,000 spins or whatever, really fast. And it was talking about how I need to go see Nina and this and that. And I never got to see her. She was in New York. I never got to see her. And wouldn't even know me if she saw me. And I didn't get to, it's weird, right? Like, when my mother's mother, my grandmother, Lonnie Mae, we didn't have a relationship basically my whole life. Me and my mother had a rough life together, a rough go at it. And every time I seen my grandmother, she would like either blame me for beefing with my mother, or blame me for leading my cousins and whoever down the wrong path. What's that Frank Lucas movie where she's like, if you would have been a carpenter, your family would have been carpenters or whatever. Well, I was selling drugs. So here you have it. I had cousins and shit like that was, I remember going to like family stuff and she'd be like, I don't know about Allah, da 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 da. She was really into the church, but she meant well. And among all of that stuff, she would always say, call me, come see me. And I always felt like, well, she don't even fuck with me. She don't even like me. Well, I'm not going over there. All she want to do is talk to me about my mother. And it wasn't until I got in a situation where somebody, I'm always like this. I'm very verbal and transparent. And in this argument, somebody weaponized my issues with the women in my life that were either here or had left. They weaponized that. And I immediately left that and said, I'm gonna go see my grandmother. I only got one left. I'm gonna go see her. And when I went to go see her, she had fallen ill way more than I knew. And really shortly after that, I ended up being like a caretaker for her. Her, my mother, my aunts. I ended up having to like be around all of them and take care of them the best I could. I didn't do that with Elores. I didn't do that with Nina. I didn't do that with Granny. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm older, I'm more strong. I know what to do now. I've been a caretaker for my dear friend Brittany who passed away. I've been a caretaker for different people I love, different loved ones that didn't make it. I was experienced in this, for better or for worse. I was right there. And I am honored to have done it. But I remember the last day she was alive. I was right there. I remember wiping tears from her eyes, and she was supposed to be unconscious, but she could hear what was going on. Can't nobody, these doctors, can't nobody tell you what's going on in this. They could tell you what your blood pressure is, what the reports say, what the tests say. They don't know what's going on here or in here. And they definitely don't know what's going on with God, man. I could do this forever. And so I feel Shannon, because I thought me and my brother was in a good place the last time we seen each other. I thought we were smiling at each other. I thought, he helped me with a table. And I couldn't be furthest away from the truth. Probably why I'll always feel an extra bit of obligation to honor him in his name and take care of his while he's not here. Because we ain't never get to do that as grown men. We never got to have a drink together as grown men. We never got to talk about relationships as grown men. We never got to do none of that shit as grown men. As kids. And it keeps you like a prisoner, trapped. Only thing I never lost yet was a parent. And to be honest, both my parents are alive for sure. But I saw my father dead on a table. And every doctor told me, say goodbye, nigga. Say goodbye. Every doctor in that building said it's a wrap, nigga, Christmas Eve. Even he said it when he was conscious. Just leave me here. I'm still fucked up about that. Because I had to make peace with him leaving. I had to say my last goodbyes and all of that. And then still fight for him to live. After I done buried so many people I love, I had to fight and pray and beg for him to live. We dreamed magnanimous, huge, humongous dreams, pause. We wanted the world and more. We would stick NASA stickers and shit like that on our bunk bed and think about what was outside this world, me and my big brother. But he was good at all this other stuff that took him away, and I didn't have that no more, and I found it out on my own. I figured it out on my own. And then whenever we was around each other again, the dynamics had changed. And I was a man, or becoming one. And what I needed from him wasn't a big brother or guidance in that direction, in that way. I needed a companion, somebody who do this, but it didn't work out. And maybe we was finding our way. He had a family now. Maybe we was figuring it out. But that feeling Shannon is talking about when they saying, man, will I ever find anybody who loved me like that? Like my grandmothers, like my godmother. Will I ever find anybody who loves me like people that's not even here no more? That's tough. That's tough. It's a tough thing for them to have to live up to. And it's a tough thing for you to feel, that void in your heart that'll never get filled. They could pour a mountain of dirt in that hole and it'll still seep to the bottom. It'll never get filled. I'm listening to Kanye's new album. Incredible. Some of it sound like twisted fantasy. Some of it sound like 808s and heartbeats. It's just Kanye genius. And he able to take the pain of losing his mother, put it in his music. The pain of losing everything, put it in the music. And I hope, I pray, I'm able to do the same. I pray that my worst days, man, I done buried so many. I done told so many goodbye that I love. Carried their caskets to the ground. Held with their mothers. I pray my my worst days don't let me experience my best. Even when I'm up, I'm thinking about being down. Even when I win, I can't think more past, damn, what if I lose again? Go watch that Lamar Odom jump. We judge and we say we want this and we want the fame and we want that. He had all of it. But when you don't deal with what's broke inside, when you don't deal with what's broke inside you, can't nobody else, nothing else fix it. Not no weed, not no drink. Only God, alhamdulillah, can fix it, and not even him. Got it, whatever. You got to do the work. What they say, faith without works is dead. Maybe when it's my time to go, they'll watch this and say, damn, that boy was good. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. Maybe when I'm gone, this shit go with me. Whatever way it go. To the ones we love and the lost, and to us that's still here. Let's keep putting one foot in front of the other. Let's push. Let's do everything we promised them we'd do. Let's be everything we promised them we'd be. Give us something more to talk about on the other side. Love y'all, man. You already know what it is. Salute.